Every single day, your dog is trying to tell you something really important. And today, we're going to decode that message. Let's dive in and finally figure out what they've been trying to say all this time.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. We do everything for them, right? The best food, the cool toys, all the care in the world. But what if there's this disconnect? What if, with all our good intentions, we're just completely missing the point? And that quote, man, that really hits home, doesn't it? Look, this isn't about you being a bad owner, not at all. It's just about this little gap in understanding, a communication gap that we're going to close right now. And it all starts with the first few moments of your day.
Okay, first up, the first 5 minutes. Now, I know this sounds so simple, you might just brush it off, but trust me, what you do in those first 5 minutes after you open your eyes, it literally sets the stage for your dog's entire day.
So, picture this. The alarm goes off. What's the first thing you do? For a lot of us, it's grab the phone. But for your dog, that simple action is a huge deal. They see that and their brain is processing, am I the priority here? See, dogs are pack animals. They're hardwired to look for their social anchor. That's you, to figure out their place in the world. And that very first interaction of the day tells them exactly where they stand. And hey, this isn't just some feel-good, sentimental stuff. It's backed by actual science. Look at this chart. A study in the Applied Animal Behavior Science Journal found something amazing. Dogs that get that little bit of morning attention, they have way lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. We're talking a measurable physical difference, and it all comes from a connection that takes, maybe 30 seconds? All right, let's move on to Act 2, the world through smell. Now, this one requires a total shift in how you see things. It's about realizing your dog is living a world you can't even perceive, a world that we kind of barge into and interrupt all the time. Just look at that number, 300 million. That's how many scent receptors your dog can have in their nose. You and me, we've got about 6 million. And get this, the part of their brain that processes smells is like 40 times bigger than ours, proportionally. So when you're on a walk and you pull that leash saying, come on, hurry up, you're not just rushing them, you're literally pulling them out of their reality.
I love this quote because it's so true. To your dog, every smell is a paragraph. Your neighborhood is a novel. They're not just sniffing a fire hydrant. They're reading the morning paper. Who was here? What did they eat? Are they feeling okay? Pulling them away is like ripping a book out of their hands right at the cliffhanger.
And here's the real kicker. It's not just about them having fun. Research from Applied Animal Cognition showed that dogs who get to go on these snifaris aren't just calmer, they're actually more optimistic. Their whole outlook on life changes. Think about that. A 20-minute walk where they get to just sniff everything can be better for their brain than an hour-long run.
Okay, on to our third act of love. And the great thing about this one is you don't have to buy anything or schedule it in. It's a tool you have with you 24/7. It's your voice. And its power over your dog's emotional state is, it's incredible.
So there was this amazing study in Budapest where they put dogs in brain scanners. And they found out that a dog's brain processes the emotional tone of your voice in pretty much the exact same way a human brain does. They're not just hearing words. They're hearing the feeling behind the words. It's this deep neurological connection. So what does that mean for us? It means it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's the music in your voice. When you use that soft, high-pitched, who's a good boy voice, you're basically hacking their nervous system. You're flipping a switch from anxious to safe. And you've seen it happen, right? Their heart rate drops, their muscles loosen up, their eyes get all soft. That's you doing that with just your tone. All right, Act 4. The real stakes of play. And we really need to talk about this one because there's a huge difference between just tossing a toy while you're checking your email and actually fulfilling your dog's deep-seated biological needs through play. Think about it. Every dog, I don't care if it's a tiny little Chihuahua or a giant Great Dane, they all have the software of a predator inside them. That instinct to chase, to hunt, that's not just a cute quirk. It's a biological need. And if that energy has nowhere to go, it doesn't just disappear. It turns into anxiety or chewing the furniture or barking like crazy. They're not being bad, they're being unfulfilled. So how do we make play real? You create a little story, a ritual. You build up the chase. You make the toy move unpredictably, like real prey would. You hide it. You let them pounce. And, this is key, you let them win. Let them have that moment of victory. Then you have a little cool down. When you're fully in it with them,
You're not just a toy thrower. You're someone who understands who they really are deep down. Okay, number 5. This one is so important, but it gets overlooked all the time. It's about your dog's absolute, non-negotiable need for a space of their own, a place where they can totally check out and just rest. And the key words here are owner respected. This isn't just about throwing a dog bed in the corner. This is about a true sanctuary, a place that has one simple rule. When the dog is in that spot, they are completely off limits. You don't call them, you don't go over and pet them, you don't bother them at all until they decide they're ready to come back out. And here's why that's so critical. If a dog can't ever truly decompress, they can't recover from all the little stresses of the day. And that stress just builds and builds and builds until it comes out as what we call behavior problems. By giving them this safe space, you're giving them the power to manage their own mental health. And that brings us to our 6th and final act. This is it. This is the big one. It's the culmination of everything we've just talked about. This is the moment your dog tells you everything without saying a word. Now, to really get this, you have to think about what vulnerability means to an animal. I mean, for any creature, sleep is the most vulnerable they can possibly be, right? Your guard is down, you're not aware of what's happening. It takes an incredible amount of trust in your environment to just let go like that. And this is their ultimate declaration of trust. When your dog makes a conscious choice to come over, to lean against you, to touch you, and then fall into a deep sleep, that's not just them getting comfy. That is them saying, of all the places in the entire world, you are the safest place I know. You are their safe harbor. You can think of it like this. All those other things we talked about, the morning hello, the sniffing on the walk, the warm tone of voice, the real playtime, that private space, each one of those was a deposit into an emotional bank account. And this moment, when they fall asleep touching you, that's them showing you the balance. It's the physical proof of all the trust you've earned. So at the end of the day, this whole thing really boils down to a single question. It's not about what else our dogs can learn from us. It's about what we're finally willing to learn from them. I mean, they spend their whole lives trying to understand our weird world, trying to connect with us. So isn't the greatest gift we could ever give them in return to finally make the effort to learn their language?